Welcome back to another explainer. So today, we're diving into a fascinating breakdown from Rajput Digital Marketing. And we're tackling a topic that honestly gives most business owners absolute nightmares. How to finally shift away from chaotic, randomized marketing into a highly structured system that actually drives predictable growth. We've got some incredible insights to unpack here, so let's just jump right in.
Let's start with a really deep, almost universal frustration for entrepreneurs. Why do businesses fail when they're so clearly putting in the effort? I mean, you put in the grueling hours, you launch the campaigns, you pour your hard-earned money into ads, but the results? They just don't match the hustle. It's incredibly demoralizing, right?
Well, the source material gives us a pretty blunt, eye-opening answer here. It's because growth feels random. Honestly, for a lot of folks, pulling the marketing lever feels exactly like playing a slot machine. 1 month leads are flooding in, and you're thinking, wow, I finally cracked the code. And then the next month? Crickets. Absolute silence. This kind of unpredictable lottery-style marketing is literally what sinks most well-intentioned businesses. You just can't scale a company relying on guesswork and a little bit of luck.
So, to fix all this chaos, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to look at 1. The problem with random growth. 2. Why Dubai demands a funnel. 3. Demystifying the sales funnel. 4. The 4 core funnel stages. 5. Avoiding common UAE marketing mistakes. And finally, 6. Building your predictable growth engine. Okay, let's dive into this.
Starting with Section 1, the problem with random growth. We're talking about the absolute chaos of marketing.
Let's take a second to diagnose the symptoms here. Maybe your leads spike 1 month and completely vanish the next. Or your ad performance is just entirely hit or miss. Or hey, maybe your social media feels super busy, getting likes, comments, shares, but you're still experiencing that shared trauma of checking a completely empty Stripe account after running really expensive ads. Let me ask you, does this sound familiar? If you're nodding your head right now, you're experiencing the direct, very painful results of just not having a system in place.
Moving on to Section 2, why Dubai demands a funnel? Because, let's face it, attention is expensive.
The Dubai market reality is a lot like its highways, extremely fast-paced and hyper-crowded. Your target audience is getting bombarded with dozens, honestly maybe hundreds of ads every single day. And because of all this saturation, they're making these instant comparisons. That leads to super quick exits from your website if they aren't captivated the second they land. Grabbing attention in Dubai is incredibly expensive. So directing traffic into this cutthroat environment without a safety net, that's basically just setting your cash on fire, because attention is just so fleeting.
Now, you can absolutely run ads without a funnel. Plenty of businesses do it every single day. But here is the critical difference between traffic without funnels and traffic with funnels. Traffic alone does not create consistency. Funnels do. You could literally have the exact same amount of traffic as your competitor, but see drastically different outcomes. And it depends entirely on whether or not you have a structured, intentional path to capture and guide those visitors.
Which brings us to Section 3, demystifying the sales funnel. What it actually is. Now, what's really interesting here is that a lot of people hear the word funnel and immediately jump to tech platforms. But a funnel's not just a piece of software. It's not just a solitary landing page floating out there on the internet. And it's definitely not just email automation. Those are just tools. Thinking a funnel is just a piece of software is kind of like thinking a beautifully built house is just a hammer.
So here is the true definition, straight from our source. A sales funnel is the intentional journey your customer takes from their very first click all the way to their final purchasing decision. It's deeply rooted in buyer psychology. It answers those absolutely vital questions like, where are people coming from? What do they see first? How are they being educated? And crucially, when are they actually asked to buy? It accepts the simple reality that people rarely whip out their credit card on the very first visit. They need to be guided.
Let's look at how that works in Section 4, the 4 core funnel stages, a step-by-step journey.
Good funnels aren't overly complicated, right? They're simply intentional. First up is awareness. This is your ads, your content, your search rankings. It's what attracts that initial attention. Second is capture. You're using targeted landing pages and forms to grab that interest before it just fades away. Third is nurture, and this is where the real magic happens. You're using emails, WhatsApp messages, and retargeting ads to build trust step by step. And finally, conversion. The actual calls, the demos, the purchases. Notice the logical flow here. Each stage patiently prepares the next one. The customer never feels rushed or pressured.
Now, we have to address the biggest fear people have when they hear about structured systems, which is losing that personal touch. Listen to this powerful quote from the source. Automation handles timing. Humans handle trust. Automation doesn't replace you, it actually protects you. It ensures emails go out exactly on time and absolutely no lead falls through the cracks. It handles all that heavy lifting of perfect timing, so your human sales team can step in precisely when the customer is actually ready to have a real trusting conversation.
Let's move on to Section 5, Avoiding Common UAE Marketing Mistakes. Don't drain your growth.
This brings us to exactly where things go wrong for so many companies. If you're running expensive ads without a follow-up plan, you're leaving leads completely abandoned. Sending targeted traffic to a generic website homepage, you fail to guide the user's attention and they are definitely going to bounce. Asking for sales too early, that just rushes the natural trust process and pushes people away. And having zero retargeting or data tracking? Just imagine a customer looking at your product online, they get distracted by a phone call, and then they never see a gentle reminder ad to bring them back. None of these mistakes kill a business instantly. Actually, scratch that. It's almost worse. They cause a slow, unseen, agonizing drain on your overall growth over time.
Bringing us to our final part, Section 6, Building Your Predictable Growth Engine. Connecting it all. Behind the scenes, a true sales funnel agency in Dubai, like Rajput Digital Marketing, they don't just sell you pre-made templates. They build a custom blueprint connected to real, local buying behavior in the UAE. This involves a totally cohesive traffic strategy and really precise offer positioning. It means custom landing page copy that speaks directly to a specific audience. It's strategically connecting email and WhatsApp sequences and building out complex retargeting logic and optimization. Basically, it's not just about making things look pretty. It's about taking all these individual marketing parts and connecting them into one seamless, deliberate engine. We've covered a ton of fantastic ground today, but if you take away one single thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Predictable growth is not magic, it's structure. Sales funnels don't promise some overnight, get-rich-quick success. What they promise is consistency. And we all know, in business, consistency compounds over time. When you actually have a deliberate system in place, instead of just relying on guesswork, your marketing finally stops feeling so incredibly chaotic.
So, I want to leave you with a final lingering thought. Is your business relying on magic? Just hoping the right people stumble across your generic website and randomly decide to pull the trigger? Or are you relying on structure, intentionally guiding every single click? If you're just completely exhausted by random results and massive ad bills, maybe it's time to intentionally map out your customer's journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.